Hello and welcome back. As you can see here, I'm a bit of a Ryobi fan with these cordless tools, and the issue is that these things are kind of lying all over the floor and on tabletops. So today I want to organize these much better. I'm going to build a cordless tool station where these can all be connected to the station, and the station is on a French cleat that I can hang up on the wall. I have all the main tools laid out how I want to put them into the cordless tool station, and I'll be making kind of pockets for them to fit into. Now this one here is a bit of a funny shape. I'm going to have to work out what to do with that later, and the battery and power supply will be put on the outside of the tool station. I have the tools all laid out on the table here, and that allows me to get a measurement of the width. That's written down on our plan. So here's the plan here. It's about 970 long and it's 90 high for each of these compartments, and the depth here is 250 millimeters, 10 inches. So I'm going to work on that board at the top first, and then I'm also going to cut some strips for these compartments. I start cutting out those pieces. I don't have a track saw, so this is the next best thing, which is clamping down a straight edge onto your work and using the skill saw. I start cutting the pieces up for the compartments, and there are 10 of these pieces. So there they are there, all cut up. And this is how it's going to work. The board's going to go there, and then these pieces will make up the compartments, and the drill and all the other tools will fit in there like that. Now there's going to be a couple of bits down here, and that will stop the drill and the tools falling out. The first thing to do is to glue and screw this panel on. This is the 10 inch or 250 millimeter panel. And I'm using these right angle brackets here to hold it nice and square or perpendicular. The tools will hang from the bottom of that panel, and the top of the panel will become a shelf so I can put other things on that shelf. Now I start gluing and screwing in these compartment pieces. I have a brad gun here which makes things a little bit easier to start with. Well, sometimes. And then I drive in some screws. So these screws are going through that backing board. And I also put some screws in from the top of the shelf into that compartment separator. So I think that should make it pretty secure and strong. I carry on adding all the rest of the separators. A little bit of a tedious job, but I get there in the end. The separators are all completed and fitted. I need to put some bits of wood at the bottom here on the separators to stop the tools from falling out. So I cut up a bunch of strips. I've put 2 of the pieces of wood here on the separators just to test the tools out, and I found I had 3 tools that don't actually fit. So I'm going to have to make some other bits of wood which are a little bit narrower, so it leaves a wider slot in the bottom so that I can get the 3 other tools in. And I'll put those down the right hand end of this rack. Those bits of wood are glued and screwed onto the bottom of the separators like this. Again, I test the tools out on these cubby holes, and this one here is a little bit narrow, so I'm going to have to take a bit off there. I take a thin slither off with the multi-tool, which makes light work of that. Then I tidy up the edges with a flat disc on an angle grinder, and that works great. That's all the compartments done, and this is the first time I try it out, how it would be sort of hung up on the wall. And that worked great with the drill in that cubby hole. Next I work on the ends here, so I'm working out what the height is for this one. Now this line here is the line for that first shelf with the cubby holes. Then I'm going to put a shelf here, and I'm going to also put a shelf at the top here as well. So I need to line up a line to go all the way through there. These are too big to cut on my miter saw, so I'm screwing the two pieces together, and I'll take that outside and cut it with my circular saw. The ends of the unit are glued up, and then I can fit the ends and screw them in. And I probably go a little bit overboard with the screws here. I do the same for the other side. Something was a bit out of alignment, so I had to use the clamp on there. And that's it. The ends are all finished. The next step is to put shelves in. And I've got these two bits of wood. They need to be cut to length. And there'll be dividers that go in here as well. I'm trimming up the larger shelf. And I go back and just measure this again. Measure twice, cut once, otherwise you end up with a bit of scrap. And that fits in there pretty tight, but pretty good. This is the top shelf, which is a little bit narrower, of course. That is also cut to length and put in the unit. Before I put those shelves in, I'm filling up the screw holes with putty. That will allow me to sand it off later on easier, and I'm going to paint this unit. It's the next day and that putty is dried, so now I sand it back nice and smooth. Because the ends of this unit have angles on them sloping back, I'm putting an angle on the shelves as well. So I'm using my restored jointer for that job, and that worked pretty good. I'm cutting the 3 dividers for the larger shelf. The shelf fits in there nicely like that. The dividers will keep it nice and level while I screw the shelf in. Put screws in the ends here and all down the back as well. I've cut the correct angle on the divider, putting a bit of glue on, and then that goes in there like that. And that is all screwed down. There's screws put in the bottom on an angle and in the back as well. Fast forward and we're onto the top shelf with 2 dividers on that one. This is how I mark out the line that I need to cut. And I go over to the saw and I actually leave the line when I cut it. That goes back in. And it's nice and flush on the bottom, a little bit at the top. So I'll get some sandpaper and tidy that up. The structure of the unit's pretty much all done now. I'm just going through and just tidying up some holes and the screw holes. I'll be able to sand those down in the following days, and then I'll be able to paint it. The next day, once the putty has dried, I use a sander and sand it all smooth. And I'm doing this outside because it's very dusty. Here I'm using a flat disc on an angle grinder. I'm just taking off this sharp edge on all of these pieces of wood at the bottom here. That will stop the tools getting caught on the sharp corner as you place them in the holder. We're almost finished, just need to install the French cleat. So that gets glue put on it. I screw in one side, then put a level on the top, screw in the other side, wipe off excess glue that's dripped down, and then put a whole bunch of screws in the back here. Here I'm using a brush on undercoat for the wood. And that's the item undercoated. You can see I haven't undercoated down where the tools go in those cubby holes, but I think that should be fine. For the top coat, I'm using a quite dark grey enamel gloss. I think this would look quite good once it's hung up on the wall. That's the first coat done. There's still some patches that need to be tidied up, and I'll do those off camera. This is where I want to put the tool holder. As you can see, there's a bit of a problem here. There's no French cleats on the wall. Now I have some French cleats already cut up and they're already stained, similar to the other ones that I installed in the shop. But this board here on the wall is very thin OSB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some plywood and use it as a backing board for support. This is the piece of plywood I have. It's not a full sheet, but it's the only one I've got, so I can't screw this part up. There's two pieces I need, so cutting off the first piece. That first piece needs to go round the 6-inch ducting, so I have to cut that out with a jigsaw. This is the second piece, which is a lot narrower than the first piece that we cut out. I'm using that same undercoat that I used before, but this time I'm rolling it on, which is going to give me a much better finish. I'll do that on the second piece as well. Once the undercoat is dried, I'm spraying it with a flat black, and that should give me a nice finish. Now we install the black panels. This is the larger one, and I'm screwing it into the studs and the knobs behind the wall. The smaller panel that goes on the left hand side, that's screwed into place, and then I start to install the French cleats. Now I do have a video on making French cleats and installing them, and those are for the French cleats that I did around my wood lathe. So if you want to have a look at that, I'll leave a link in the description. But this is the 30-second version. And basically what I'm doing here is putting French cleats up, and I'm using spaces that I'd made before, and that keeps them all nice and level. That's the last one, and we're finished. There's a couple of final touches on the storage cabinet. This is a battery holder for Ryobi batteries. Thank you very much to Gary Jones for giving this to me. I'm putting in a couple of screws for the battery charger, and that just fits on and slides down. I lift the unit into place and sit on a French cleat, then the battery charger is clipped in and plugged in. Now the fun begins. We start loading it up with all the tools. The last 3 slots at this end are a little bit wider to take these tools. I've got a whole bunch of wood screws in these little plastic jars, so the stainless screws are at the back and the normal screws are at the front. These are my pocket screws and the pocket hole jig. And next to that are all the brad nails for my pneumatic brad guns. Here are some flat discs and a spanner for the grinder. Next to that are some blades for the oscillating tool and a Allen wrench to change them. And finally a whole bunch of different types of tapes. Now that's pretty much the project done, and it's looking pretty good, and I'm happy that I don't have tools all over the bench and all over the floor. You can see here I've still got 3 cubby holes that I can put stuff into in the future. This was a really great project. I'm quite happy that I have this now in place. I hope everyone has a great day, and once again, thanks for watching.